Hey guys, we're going to talk about exponential functions, which we started yesterday, but we're going to talk about today is very simple. It's the transformations of an exponential function, as well as the domain and range. So yesterday you saw that the domain, regardless of your base, is negative infinity to positive infinity, or you could write this funky r, or you could write this funky r representing all real numbers. And the range, regardless of what your base was, whether it was a growth base or a decay base, okay, regardless of that, the range was 0 to infinity, or you could write y is greater than 0. Okay? The only time that anything would change your domain and range was if you included an a value here that was somehow negative. If a was somehow negative, if a equaled like -5, then a flipped it over the graph, right? Because what does that negative do? It reflects, okay, because that's what the a gives us a chance to do. It gives us a chance to reflect. So then if it reflected, well, the domain still stayed the same, because a reflection across the x-axis is not going to affect a domain, but it will affect a range, and basically it just changed the range from being 0 to infinity to being negative infinity to 0. Now, this was assuming I didn't move anything. This was assuming there was no movement, no transformation other than maybe a reflection, okay? What if I added some other values in? Such as, what if I gave us something like y equals -2 times 3 to the x plus 5 minus 6? Before we go any farther, I just want us to take a moment and what are all the transformations that we see happening? Well, we have a negative right here, which means reflects across the x-axis. Reflects. Okay, that's going to be hard for me to write. So I'm just going to write r, representing reflects, and then I'm going to write x. Rx. Reflects x-axis. Okay. This 2 right here is my a value, guys. That's very important. It is not your base. 3 is your base because it has the variable exponent. 2 is your a value. Since it's bigger than 1, that represents a vertical stretch. Okay, 3 is just your base. It means nothing. Other than telling me it's a growth, it means nothing as far as transformations go. Plus 5 is with the x, so that means left 5. Okay, and then this minus 6 is outside the function, so that means down 6. So that means I shift down 6. Okay, so let's talk about what is my domain going to become. Let's not look at a graph. Let's just talk about what is my domain going to become. My domain was negative infinity, positive infinity, or all real numbers. Remember, domain is left to right, okay? Is any of these going to affect that? Is reflecting across the x-axis going to affect moving left to right? Because remember, reflecting across the x-axis just takes you from being up here to being down here. Is that going to affect going left to right? No, that affects going up and down, but not left to right. A vertical stretch, is that going to affect moving left to right? No. Moving down 6. So basically we take left to right line and we move it down 6. Does that affect moving left to right? No. Left 5. Well, if you're already going forever to the left and forever to the right, does going to the left 5 more affect anything? No, it does not affect your domain. So your domain is still negative infinity to positive infinity. Now let's talk about your range. Okay. Your range is usually 0 to infinity. But since you have a reflection, it's now negative infinity to 0. Because remember, we usually look something like this. But since we reflected, now we're going to look something like this. Okay? And then what else happens? I vertically stretch, but does that affect your range? No. But I also move down 6. So now, instead of being up here, I'm actually down here. So then my range instead is not negative infinity to 0. It's negative infinity to -6. Okay? And then what else gets adjusted? Well, your asymptote. What kind of asymptote does an exponential function have? A horizontal asymptote. Very good. It has a horizontal asymptote. So then where is my horizontal asymptote? Where is it usually? My horizontal asymptote usually is at y equals 0. Okay, it's usually here at y equals 0. But I moved it down 6. So it's at y equals -6. And bam, that is transformations. Okay? Hopefully nothing of that's crazy new. I'm trying to keep this video short for you. Please send me a reminder and email with any questions you have, and I hope you have a great day.